Every bettor thinks they know where the value is on September 13th. 'Tis slate of games, but here's the uncomfortable truth: most of you are about to get crushed tonight. The lines look too easy, the public is hammering the wrong sides, and hidden pitching matchups are setting traps that casual fans can't see coming. If you're blindly chasing favorites, you're already buried. This is the kind of board that separates the sharp money from the square money, and if you're not paying attention to the bullpen analytics, strikeout splits, and market angles, you're going to regret every dollar you put in. Let's break down where the real danger lies across every single matchup tonight. Cubs send lefty Matthew Boyd to the mound, coming in at 12-8 with a 2.92 ERA, 145 strikeouts over 166.1 innings, and opposing him is Shane Baz for the Rays, at 9-11 with a 4.94 ERA and 169 kiloseconds in a similar amount of work. Boyd's been impressively consistent, posting 17 quality starts so far this season, allowing hitters to bat just around .232 off him, and showing a strong 7.8 K9 rate. Baz has more swing and miss upside, 9.5 K9, but he's also wildly inconsistent, giving up more walks, more hard contact, and tends to struggle with command in tight spots. While Chicago's bullpen has been leaned on frequently, their late-inning arms have delivered lately. In the last 3 games, Cubs relievers combined to go 12 up, 12 down after Boyd exited, and their bullpen has held opponents to a 1-for-34 showing in that stretch. With Andrew Kittredge closing and solid setup work from Keller, Horton, Thielbar, Chicago looks more trustworthy beyond the 5th inning. Rays' bullpen, by comparison, has had moments but remains patchy. They suffer when starter exits early or gives up elevated fastballs, especially at Wrigley, where homers travel more than many expect. Offensively, Cubs lean on their power game. Ian Happ exploded in the opener versus Rays. A home run, a double, a single, 3 RBIs, showing what the Cubs can do when Boyd gives them any margin. Their lineup, while not elite in batting average, is near league average in OBP and above average in slugging, especially versus right-handed starters. Rays hitters like Junior Caminero with his 41 homers are dangerous, and their speed gives them value in small ball and taking extra bases, but against Boyd they risk chasing fastballs and breaking pitches that put them behind in counts. Betting market lines open with Cubs favored around -170, Rays +144, totals sitting at 7.5 runs, with model projections leaning slightly toward the over. The public sees Boyd's strong seasonal metrics and Chicago's interleague dominance, Cubs showing a top performance versus AL clubs, as reasons to lean Cubs. But there is value potential on the Rays' run line and some aggressive props if Baz shows signs of sharpness in warm-ups. Top player props. Boyd over 6.5 strikeouts looks strong. His career K9 and recent form support over, especially with hitter aggression and some swing and miss possibility early. Baz over 5.5 kiloseconds is a riskier prop but feasible if he avoids early walks. Cubs HR props. Happ anytime HR feels solid given his power recent display. Michael Busch for extra base hit potential. Nico Horner TB over 1.5 as a contact plus speed threat. Rays props. Caminero HR has upside. Jake Mangum perhaps for multi-hit game if he gets good pitches. Team total over for Rays is live only if they make early contact. Best bets lean. Cubs ML is core play. Boyd over Ks is high EV prop. Happ HR is value play. For same game parlay. A strong build is Cubs ML plus Boyd over Ks plus Happ 1 plus hitter HR. A value stack might include Cubs TT over plus Busch TB over plus Baz under Ks if expecting Cubs dominance. High payoff build. Cubs -1.5 plus over 9 total runs plus half hour. Projected flow. Boyd pounds the zone early with fastballs up and sliders sweeping, getting 5 to 6 strikeouts through 4 innings. Cubs score in the second via Happ homer or Busch double. Rays try to respond with speed and small ball but Boyd avoids damage. As pitch count builds, Baz allows a couple of hard hits, maybe 2 runs by Cubs after 5. Bullets from Cubs pen in middle frames shut down Rays' faint rally. Final predicted result: Cubs 5, Rays 2, with props on Boyd's Ks and Cubs team and power hitting cashing. Kevin Gausman enters this matchup with a 10-10 record, 3.44 ERA, whip near 1.00, and 171 strikeouts on the season. His command has been razor sharp, especially in recent starts. In his most recent outing he threw a complete game shutout versus the Astros, allowing just 2 hits, 1 walk, and recording 9 strikeouts over 100 pitches. That performance boosts his confidence and value heading into facing Baltimore. His career history versus Baltimore isn't spotless though. Through 8 appearances versus the Orioles, Gausman is 3-4 with a 4.53 ERA and 36 strikeouts. That suggests Baltimore has had some success putting pressure on him in past matchups. The O's projected starter, Grayson Rodriguez, has already shown high upside. In his 43 career starts, he owns a 4.11 ERA, 1.29 WHIP, and 259 strikeouts in 238 2/3 innings. His strikeouts per 9 rate is about 9.8 K9, which is elite when he's healthy and attacking the zone. However, he has health concerns. Elbow inflammation and surgery has been discussed, but we don't have confirmation that he's available or at full strength. That makes him a bit risky as a starter prop if the velocity or usage is diminished. Toronto's bullpen has shown better efficiency lately, especially with Romano and Garcia tightening up late innings, stringing zeros when they need to. Baltimore's bullpen remains one of the deeper ones in baseball, leading MLB in several bullpen era and inherited runner strand metrics. In a game that likely stays tight, Baltimore has the edge suppressing rallies once Rodriguez exits if he does. Offensively, Baltimore has several dangerous matchups versus Gausman when he misses his spots. Gausman tends to allow hard exit velocity and more home runs when fastballs are up in the zone. Baltimore hitters like Anthony Santander, Gunnar Henderson, Ryan Mountcastle, and even Jackson Holliday in limited visuals have shown ability to punish elevated stuff. Toronto counters with power from Vlad Guerrero Jr., gap-to-gap ability from Bo Bichette, and strong plate discipline that can force Rodriguez to throw multiple pitches per PA. Prop and betting angles: Gausman over 6.5 strikeouts, likely line and value if he works deep and avoids early traffic. Rodriguez over 5.5 strikeouts, risky, but his season profile supports that when healthy. Orioles team total over 4.5 runs, bullpen depth plus Gausman's occasional homer exposure. Guerrero Jr., anytime HR, when Rodriguez misses up, Vlad punishes. Mountcastle over 1.5 total bases, frequent gap-to-gap hits plus power potential. Totals and side lean. Early total projections will likely be 8.5 runs or close. Lean under if both starters are sharp and the game remains pitcher's duel. Lean over if Gausman has velocity, Rodriguez goes deep, or if bullpen arms show rust. Side lean. Orioles ML or Madrigal hedges assuming Rodriguez starts, but if he's unavailable or not healthy, value swings toward Blue Jays. Also look at Toronto team total over 4.5 if Baltimore starter is weak or bullpen taxed. Best bets and parlay ideas. Primary bet: Gausman over 6.5 kiloseconds, high probability and lower variance. Secondary value: Guerrero Jr. HR prop: bigger payout, lower hit probability. Team value: Orioles ML small play if Rodriguez confirmed and healthy. SGP parlay. Structures: conservative SGP, Gausman over Ks plus Orioles team total over 4.5 plus under 10 total. Value stack: Guerrero Jr. HR plus Mountcastle TB over plus Gausman over Ks. High upside play: Orioles ML plus Guerrero Jr. HR plus over 9 total, riskier but big payout potential. Expect Gausman to come out aggressive, attacking early in the first with 4-seam fastballs and his splitter. Jays score early off a 2-out hit from Bichette. Rodriguez shows signs of limping command, maybe walks a couple, but still misses bats. Mid-game, Vlad launches a solo blast off a mistake middle up. Orioles answer with a Mountcastle drive to gap for an RBI. From 5th onward, bullpen leverage takes over. Baltimore's pen may carry them through tight 6th and 7th innings. Toronto's late offense works counts but struggles against Kimbrel-type arms. Final score projection: Baltimore 5, Toronto 3 with props on Gausman's Ks and Guerrero's HR likely hitting. Mitch Keller, 6-14, 4.13 ERA, 140 strikeouts, is confirmed to start for the Pirates, with Washington countering likely with a young arm, possibly Brad Lord or Andrew Alvarez depending on rotation health. Keller has been streaky, allowing hard contact and home runs when his fastball rides too high, but when his slider and sinker locate, he racks up ground balls and whiffs. The young Nats starter is untested under pressure but provides upside via swing and miss and lower HRFB when clean. The Pirates' bullpen has been taxed lately. Middle relief has allowed several crooked innings, and recent games feature shaky inherited runner management. Washington's bullpen is also volatile but slightly better in high leverage in home games. In a tight game, bullpen strength favors Washington if their starter can go 5. Offense for Pittsburgh is led by Bryan Reynolds, has homered in 4 of last 6 games as underdog, and Andrew McCutchen hit in 9 straight versus NL East opponents. Washington's Josh Bell has doubles in each of his last 3 home favorite starts versus NL Central teams and has RBI upside. Pirates have lost 7 of last 8 road games versus NL East opponents. Nationals have covered the run line in each of their last 5 home games after playing the previous day. Unders have hit in many of these matchups. Key player props: Mitch Keller over 5.5 kiloseconds. Recent history shows he's hit this versus similar lineups. Josh Bell double in game. Favorable split versus weak middle relief. Bryan Reynolds anytime HR. Underdog power value. Nationals team total over 4.5, backed by home bullpen advantage. Totals lean under if both starters settle and pen arms hold. Lean over if there's early mismatch. Keller walks stack up or if Washington starter is exposed. Side lean. Slight tilt to Nationals ML. Home team with better bullpen and recent patterns versus similar opponents. Best bets. Keller over Ks is a core prop. Reynolds HR is value. Washington ML moderate. Parlay stack ideas. Nationals ML plus Keller over Ks plus Reynolds 1 plus hit. Value parlay. Nationals TT over plus Bell double plus Reynolds anytime hour. Game flow favored. Tight early. Washington edges the late innings. Pirates offense threatened but bullpen collapse gives way. The Mets face the Rangers on September 13 with one of the most intriguing pitching matchups of the slate. Texas is handing the ball to Jacob deGrom, who comes into this game at 11-7 with a 2.86 ERA, a blistering 171 strikeouts, and a whip hovering around 0.93. His command and strikeout ability are elite, but recent outings since the All-Star break show some cracks. Over his last 7 starts his ERA has risen to 4.34, and he has been touched for a few home runs when his slider leaks over the plate. Still, deGrom remains a strikeout machine, and his ability to miss bats should dictate the early pace. On the other side, the Mets counter with Jonah Tong, a rookie making just his 3rd MLB start. Tong is 1-1 with a 4.09 ERA, striking out 12 batters in about 11 innings while giving up 2 home runs and walking 6. The small sample size makes him unpredictable. He's shown flashes of swing and miss stuff, but he has also allowed hard contact that could be magnified against one of the most powerful lineups in baseball. The bullpens create a sharp divide between these teams. The Rangers' bullpen has stabilized in recent weeks, ranking in the top 10 across the league in ERA and holding opponents to a batting average under .230 in September. They've been reliable in closing out games, limiting blown saves and stranding inherited runners. The Mets' bullpen, by contrast, has been shaky. Over the last 30 days they've posted an ERA near 5.00, with late-inning collapses costing them several winnable games. This weakness becomes magnified when a young starter like Tong is unlikely to pitch deep into the game, forcing manager Carlos Mendoza to rely heavily on middle relievers who have been inconsistent at best. Analytics and team form trends strongly favor Texas. The Rangers are surging, winning 7 of their last 10 games, riding a hot streak that has them averaging over 5 runs per contest during that span. The Mets, meanwhile, are sliding, dropping more games than they've won in September and struggling to produce runs in big spots. At Citi Field, the Mets' home park has leaned slightly pitcher-friendly, but Rangers' bats have been on fire in road games recently, with overs cashing in 5 of their last 7 away contests. Historically, Mets vs. Rangers at Citi Field has been lower scoring, but current lineup form suggests more run potential, particularly against Tong and the vulnerable Mets pen. Prop bettors will key in on DeGrom's strikeout line. He is projected around 6.5, and with a strikeout-to-walk ratio that ranks among the best in baseball, the over has appeal despite his recent hiccups. Tong's strikeout line is lower, around 5.5, but against a Texas team that makes consistent contact, the under is the sharper play. Power props deserve attention too. Juan Soto, with his mix of plate discipline and barrel rate, is a candidate for an anytime home run. Pete Alonso on the Mets side has been crushing lefties, but against DeGrom his best chance is in later innings against relievers, making his over 1.5 total bases a logical prop. Rangers hitters Corey Seager and Adolis Garcia also profile well here, both capable of taking advantage of Tong's tendency to leave fastballs elevated. From a betting market perspective, the Rangers are likely favorites on the moneyline with DeGrom on the mound, while the total should sit between 8 and 8.5 runs. The lean is toward the over, with the Rangers projected to score in bunches and the Mets potentially scratching across a couple of runs late. The best bet construction starts with Rangers moneyline paired with DeGrom over 6.5 strikeouts. Adding a Rangers team total over 4.5 runs enhances value, given how consistent their bats have been. Player prop value lies in Soto to homer and Alonso to record at least 2 bases. A same-game parlay idea stacks Rangers ML, DeGrom 7+ strikeouts, and Alonso 1+ hit for a balanced but still plus money ticket. A bolder parlay option includes Rangers -1.5, Soto HR, and the game to go over 9 runs for high risk, high reward potential. The projected flow of this game favors Texas. Expect DeGrom to carve through the Mets' order early, racking up strikeouts while allowing minimal traffic. Tong might survive the first trip through the order, but Texas's lineup is too deep to be held down for long. A crooked inning around the 4th or 5th feels inevitable, with Seager or Garcia likely delivering the big blow. Once the bullpens are engaged, the Rangers' edge becomes even clearer, as New York's relievers have struggled to hold leads or keep games close. The Rangers' ability to tack on late runs against tired arms should push them over their team total. A reasonable projection is Rangers 5, Mets 2, with the best prop outcomes lining up for DeGrom's strikeouts and a Soto or Seager homer to deliver value. Detroit toes the rubber with Tariq Skubal, 13-4, 2.10 ERA, 222 strikeouts in approximately 180 innings, who's been one of the most dominant starters in the league. He's carrying a whip around 0.86 and opponents are batting under .200 against him. His strikeout rate K9 approximately equals 11.1, and ability to generate swinging strikes make him a top-tier arm when attacking both sides of the plate. Miami counters with Sandy Alcantara, whose season has been up and down. He's 8-12 with a 5.67 ERA, a whip near 1.32, and has allowed more hard contact than average. Alcantara has managed to work deep into games at times, but is often punished when misses happen, especially elevated fastballs or sluggish off-speed offerings. Skubal versus Alcantara gives Detroit a huge edge if Detroit bats can avoid chasing early and force Alcantara into high counts. Bullpens factor heavily in this one. Detroit's bullpen has shown better consistency recently, especially in inherited runners suppression and fewer runs allowed in the late innings. Their high-leverage arms have tightened up, which is crucial given that Skubal may exit after 5 to 6 innings if pitch count rises. Miami's pen is more volatile. When games get tight, they've given up runs in relief often, and their strikeout rates in those innings are weaker versus Detroit's batters. That means if Detroit builds even a small lead or opens up the game, their bullpen has the better chance of securing it. Offensively, Detroit has several favorable matchups. Riley Green, 32 HR, approximately 103 RBI, is one of the most dangerous hitters in the lineup and hits .269 with solid slugging. He should benefit if Alcantara misses location in the power zone. Miami's Kyle Stowers, .288 AVG, 25 HR, approximately 73 RBI, has been Oakland's best power threat and consistent bat. He can punish Skubal only if Skubal's fastball is up or his breaking stuff is off. But overall Marlins rank poorly in home runs, lower 10 in MLB, and runs scored, around 21st, for the season, so they need a breakout from hitters like Stowers and De La Cruz to stay in this. Analytics and market trends also highlight value. Detroit is 11th in MLB in runs scored, while the Marlins are 21st. That kind of offensive differential combined with a dominant starter, Skubal, versus a struggling one, Alcantara, hints at skewed value. Public market lines as of now have Detroit favored with a run line around -1.5 in several shops. Parlay trends picks are pushing toward Detroit -1.5 and Skubal over strikeouts as the core. Totals are opening near 7 runs, under 8 looks tight unless Alcantara has a rare good one. Key prop plays. Skubal over 8.5 strikeouts. He's got the arsenal and the recent K9 to justify that line. Alcantara over 5.5 strikeouts if books undervalue him and he stays out of deep trouble. Riley Green anytime hour. His power profile versus Marlins home run susceptibility makes this live. Kyle Stowers over 1.5 total bases, gap hit power and consistency. Detroit team total over 5.5 runs if Skubal delivers a quality start and the Marlins pen is exposed late. Marlins team total over 3.5 runs only if they get to batters early and skirt around Skubal's dominant frames. Best bets. Detroit -1.5 run line is looking sharp given the gap between starters. Value prop is Skubal over 8.5 kiloseconds. Lighter prop is Green hour. Parlay ideas. A same-game parlay of Detroit ML plus Skubal over Ks plus Green HR gives a strong payout with correlated pieces. Value stack could be Detroit team total over plus Skubal Ks over plus Stowers TB over. High risk. High return would be Detroit -1.5 plus Green hour plus over 8.5 total runs. Game flow likely goes like this. Skubal opens with 2 or 3 kiloseconds in the first couple of innings. Detroit squeaks a run via small ball or RBI hit. Mid-game Detroit explodes through Alcantara in a bad frame, 3rd-5th, with Green delivering a home run. Alcantara pulled early or forced high pitch count. Reliever struggle allows Tigers to extend lead. Detroit bullpen shuts the door. Final projection. Tigers 6, Marlins 2, with props on Skubal's Ks and Green's power hitting. Max Fried, 16.5, 3.02 ERA, 163 strikeouts, pitches for the Yankees. Opposing Brian Bello, 11.6, 3.12 ERA, approximately 114 kiloseconds for Boston. Fried is having an elite season. He's among the league leaders in wins, limits hard contact well, keeps walks manageable, and greatly suppresses home runs. His splits show that Boston hitters, particularly the bottom halves, struggle when facing his slider-cutter combo. Bello is solid, with good strikeout numbers and a respectable ERA, but has shown vulnerability to power hitters when elevated fastballs find too much of the plate. and has allowed more extra base hits than Fried over the past month. New York's bullpen depth is among the best in the league. Their setup arms and closer have a strong hold record when leading after 6, with high inherited runner strand rates. Boston's bullpen, while improved, still has occasional lapses in high leverage. The top relievers Whitlock, Wilson are dependable, but the middle relief has allowed more runs than desired in similar spots. Given this, if Fried exits early or if Boston builds momentum, Yankees still hold the late-game edge thanks to their deeper relief core. Offensively, Yankees are led by Aaron Judge, batting .322 with 46 home runs and 100 RBIs this season. Judge is one of the league's top launch angle hitters and punishes mistakes, especially fastballs up in the zone. Cody Bellinger and Trent Grisham are also in form. Bellinger with strong contact and power, Grisham excels when Fried gives him fastballs in his batting zone. For Boston, Trevor Story offers pop with 24 home runs. Their offense scores in bunches when they string together contact, hits with runners in scoring position, and get extra bases. The betting market reflects the strength of this rivalry. Yankees are slight favorites, around -133, Red Sox +112, with the spread around Yankees -1.5. Total is set at approximately 8.5 runs. Trends show Yankees tend to perform well as favorites around this mark. Boston underdog wins less frequent in recent months at these odds. At Fenway, home teams and Boston in particular have produced higher run totals lately, aided by a favorable run-scoring factor in the park. Key player props to watch. Fried over 7.5 strikeouts. His K9 and elite whiff rates support this, especially against Boston's misfires. Bello under 5.5 strikeouts is playable if Yankees spray line drives early and shorten his leash. Aaron Judge anytime HR. His power profile and recent hot streak make this high upside. Trevor Story over 1.5 total bases. In most games with weak starters or elevated fastballs, Story finds extra bases. Yankees team total over 4.5 runs seems viable if their top 4 hitters get early traffic. Lean on the over side of totals if Fried shows fastball up velocity in warm-ups. The spread of -1.5 on Yankees has appeal if Judge or Bellinger starts hot. Best bets include Fried over Ks and Judge HR as single-ticket plays. Parlay SGP ideas. Yankees ML plus Fried over Ks plus Judge HR for correlated high upside. Value stack might be Yankees TT over plus Judge Hour plus Story TB over. High risk parlay. Yankees -1.5 plus. Judge Hour plus over 9 total runs. Game flow projection. Fried starts sharp, racks up at least 6 strikeouts through first 4 innings. Yankees open scoring via Judge or Bellinger in second or third. Bello gives up a couple of runs in middle innings, possibly home run or extra base hit. Boston answers with small rallies, but Yankees pen seals the late frames. Final approximately. Yankees 6, Red Sox 3, with props on Fried Ks, Judge HR, and Yankees team total cashing. Walker Buehler, 7-7, 5.29 ERA, 87 strikeouts, gets the ball for the Phillies against Michael Lorenzen, 5-10, approximately 4.95 ERA, 113 Ks for the Royals. Buehler's season has been streaky. He has flashes of dominance thrown off by inconsistency, especially with home runs allowed when missing his spot. Lorenzen, meanwhile, has durability but gives up hard contact and extra base hits, often walking batters in big innings. Philadelphia's bullpen has been reinforced in recent weeks. Jhoan Duran has been closing well, and Matt Strahm has come through in setup roles. The Orioles game showed how Philadelphia can lean on its relievers to preserve slim leads. Kansas City's pen is less reliable in high leverage. They've struggled in games where the starter exits early and lefty hitters start to barrel up breaking balls. That gives the Phils a late game edge if Buehler hands off a lead. Offensively, the Phillies are hot. Kyle Schwarber has rocketed up to 50 homers, pacing the NL in power. Bryce Harper, Edmundo Sosa, and Harrison Bader are all seeing excellent hard hit rates, especially on long fastballs. In contrast, Kansas City's offense has cooled. They've slipped to bottom tiers in WRC Plus over recent weeks, and their power output outside of Vinny Pasquantino has been weak. Royals are averaging fewer extra base hits per game than they did a month ago. From a betting market's perspective, Phillies ML is likely priced around -170 to -200, given home field plus recent form. Totals are projected in the range of 8 to 8.5 runs, with sharp bettors looking at over as a leverage play if Lorenzen comes out shaky or Buehler shows signs of fatigue. Key prop lines include Buehler over strikeouts, likely approximately 6.5, Schwarber anytime HR, Pasquantino home run prop, Phillies team total over 5.5 runs, and Royals team total over 3.5 runs in case of early traffic or Phil's bullpen letdown. Best bets here. The primary value is Phillies ML coupled with Buehler over 6.5 kiloseconds. Secondary props like Schwarber HR and Phillies team total over are solid complements. For parlays or same-game parlay builds, a value stack would be Phillies ML plus Buehler K over plus Schwarber hour. A bolder ticket could include Phillies -1.5, but that requires Buehler to go deep with minimal damage. Game flow is likely dictated by Buehler's early innings. If he settles in, gets ahead, and keeps Royals off balance, Phils can score via Schwarber and Harper early. Lorenzen will probably yield a couple of runs by the fourth. Royals may scratch one or two, but consistent offense lacks depth. Phil's bullpen locks it down in the 7th-9th. Final predicted outcome: Phillies 6, Royals 2. With props on Buehler's strikeouts and Schwarber's power promising payouts. The Guardians send Parker Messick to the mound 2-0, 1.93 ERA over approximately 23.1 innings, 3 walks, 18 strikeouts against White Sox starter Davis Martin, 6-9, approximately 4.03 ERA, with 92 kiloseconds and 44 BBs. Messick's made a splash in limited usage, showing solid command and low home run exposure, while Martin has been serviceable but prone to yield extra base hits and occasional long balls when he misses over the plate. The contrast here is clear: high upside versus volatility. Cleveland's bullpen has been among the better arms in the American League this season, with one of the lowest bullpen FIP metrics, approximately 3.57 bullpen ERA, TOP5. MLB, strong inherited runner prevention, and more consistency in high-leverage situations. Meanwhile, Chicago's relief core features inconsistency. Middle relief has given up multiple crooked innings in recent games, and their setup men often face matchup issues against batters with high slugging in late innings. If Messick can give 5 to 6 strong frames, the Cleveland pen should be able to preserve a lead significantly better than its White Sox counterpart. Offensively, Chicago is weak. As a team they rank near the bottom in WRC+, defense, and base running. Their run differential is deeply negative. The White Sox offense lives or dies on a few names. Lenyn Sosa 20 HR, approximately .265 AVG, along with Colson Montgomery, and Mike Tauchman, who are among the few above replacement value hitters in the lineup. Cleveland's offense is more well-rounded. Jose Ramirez 28 HR, approximately .285 AVG, approximately .507 SLG, Kyle Manzardo, and Steven Kwan provide power, speed, extra base potential, and high contact skills. Cleveland's defensive rating is also well above average. They convert more balls in play into outs, limiting White Sox damage on miss hits and weak contact. From market angles, Guardians are favored on the money line, about -160 to -170, with White Sox underdogs. Total is expected to hover around 8 to 8.5 runs given the pitching strengths and offensive weaknesses of Chicago. Key prop lines to watch include Messick over approximately 5.5 strikeouts, or over 6 if books allow, Martin's home runs allowed, potentially over 0.5 hour allowed, given his susceptibility to power hitters. Guardians team total over approximately 4.5, and some upside on Jose Ramirez for anytime hour. Also, power value props for Sosa anytime HR, or White Sox hitters who tend to cash value in favorable counts. Best bets. Core plays include Guardians ML and Messick over Ks. Value props include Ramirez HR, maybe Sosa HR as underdog power. For totals, lean under if Messick or the pen holds firm and run scoring is minimal, but over becomes viable if Chicago gets to him early. Parlay SGP ideas. Balanced stack of Guardians ML plus Messick over 5.5 kiloseconds plus Ramirez 1 plus hit. Value stack. Guardians TT over plus Ramirez hour plus Sosa hour. High return build. Guardians minus 1.5 plus Ramirez hour plus over 9 total runs. Risky, but with Boston weak and Chicago's offense limited, may pay off. Projected game flow. Messick starts sharp, whiffs early batters, keeps Chicago off the board first 2 innings. Cleveland gets on the board via Ramirez or Manzardo in the third. Chicago floats a run via Sosa or Montgomery in middle innings but fails to string hits. Mid-game Messick exits after approximately 5.5 innings with strikeouts 6-7, followed by clean pen work. Guardians tack on runs late against Chicago bullpen mistakes. Final around Guardians 5, White Sox 2, with props on Messick's Ks, Ramirez power, and Guardians team total hitting value. Pablo Lopez 5-4, 2.83 ERA, approximately 65 strikeouts in approximately 66.2 innings, gets the ball for Minnesota, while Arizona counters with Brandon Pfaadt 13-8, approximately 5.18 ERA. Lopez is riding strong right now. In his recent outing versus Kansas City, he threw 6 innings, allowed 2 earned runs, gave up 6 hits, and kept walks under control. He's averaging about 8.8 strikeouts per 9 innings this season and opponents hit around .227 off him, solid metrics. Pfaadt's profile is uneven. He's capable of stretches of dominance, but his overall ERA suggests he gives up too many hard hits and long balls, especially when his fastballs are left up in the zone. He has about 7.6 kiloseconds per 9, which gives some upside for strikeout props, but consistency has cost him. The bullpen edge tilts heavily toward Minnesota. The Twins' bullpen has been among the weakest in several stretches, but when Lopez can give them 5 to 6 clean innings, the setup and closer arms have been able to suppress damage more often than Arizona's relief corps. The Diamondbacks' pen has been patchy, especially in games following tough outings. They've allowed more inherited runners to score and have had struggles limiting late-game power. That setup means that if the game is close into the 7th, 8th innings, the Twins have a higher chance to capitalize with their late arms. Offensively, the Twins have had a rough year on the whole. Their batting splits show a team average around .239, OBP about .312, slugging around .398, OPS .710. They hit 173 home runs through the season, which is middle of the pack. Their home ballpark has given them slight lifts for extra base hits, especially in favorable conditions. The Diamondbacks, however, have shown surges in recent games. Eduardo Rodriguez had a strong dominant start versus the Giants, giving up just 2 hits over more than 6 innings, which helps momentum. Arizona's offense has been carried recently by guys who can punish elevated fastballs and elevated fastballs left over the plate. Those home run spots are live in this matchup. From market perspective, the moneyline is expected to be tight. Twins may open slight favorites due to home start and weaker opponent era. The total looks to be in the 8 to 8.5 runs range. Prop markets will be active. Lopez over strikeouts approximately 6.5 or 7, Pfaadt over some strikeouts, but riskier. Twins team total over approximately 4.5 runs, Diamondbacks team total over value only if early offense shows. Home run props for Arizona hitters who swing for power, depending on platoon splits, are usable. Extra base hit props for Twins hitters in favorable counts are plausible. Best bets. The anchor is Pablo Lopez over strikeouts. His K9, low opponent average, and recent strong command make this a high EV play. A strong value prop is a Twins team total over 4.5, especially if they get early offense. Another play. Pick a power hitter on Arizona to homer if Fott leaves something up. For side, lean Twins ML or small spread if available, given Fott's exposure. Parlay SGP construction ideas. A balanced parlay would pair Twins ML plus Lopez over Ks plus Twins TT over. A value stack might include Lopez over Ks plus Arizona hour plus over 8 total runs. High payoff setup could be Twins minus 1.5 plus Lopez Ks over plus home runs from both squads, though riskier. Projected game flow. Lopez settles in early, collecting 4 to 5 strikeouts through 4 innings, allowing just 1 run or fewer. Twins scratch a run off Fott early. Mid-game, Diamondbacks respond with a solo home run but leave runners. Lopez is lifted around 6th, Twins bullpen holds. Late innings, Twins tack on another run or 2 off Arizona pen mistakes. Final expected outcome. Twins 5, Diamondbacks 3, with Lopez over Ks and Twins team plus run line providing value. Hunter Brown, 11-7, 2.25 ERA, 190 KS, whip approximately 1.01, starts for Houston, while Bryce Elder, 7-9, 5.35 ERA, 111 kiloseconds, 1.41 whip takes the mound for Atlanta. Brown has been dominant. Excellent command, very low home run rate, and allowed few extra base hits. Elder, in contrast, has been hittable and prone to hard contact. He allows elevated exit velocities and has been tagged for power when mistakes pile up. This is a tilt where pitch execution and bullpen durability will swing the result heavily. Houston's bullpen has been middling but decent in high-leverage spots. Their back-end arms are reliable enough, though in recent Astros games fatigue has shown and there have been several rough frames after strong starts. Atlanta's bullpen is one of their weaker units historically. With several injuries and inconsistent middle relievers, the Braves are vulnerable in late innings. If Brown can give 5 to 6 strong frames, Houston's bullpen likely holds versus a Braves offense that often struggles with consistency. Offensively, the Astros are deep. Jose Altuve leads the team with 24-hour and about 76 RBIs, batting .261. Jeremy Pena is hitting around .300 with an OBP of approximately .359 and SLG near .463. The team overall has slugged 162 HR, batting average approximately .252, OBP approximately .317. Braves meanwhile have power threats like Matt Olson, 23 HR, 81 RBI, .271 AVG, SLG approximately .463, but beyond that their lineup has thinner depth. The Astros' offense has been aggressive when pitchers leave fastballs high or don't spot sliders well. Brown's strength is avoiding those lapses. Elder's vulnerability lies in missing location, mistakes up in the zone, stuff hung over the plate, breaking balls catching too much plate. Moneyline is favoring Houston at -125 to -135, with the total sitting around 8.5 runs. Run line option for Astros -1.5 paying near +130, which holds appeal for bettors expecting Brown to carry deep and Houston to build multiple inning detours. Betting markets are trending toward prop value in Brown's strikeout over line given his recent 10+ K outings. Also value on Astros team total overs if Elder gives up early traffic. Player prop targets include Brown over approximately 6.5 kiloseconds, Olson anytime hour versus Brown if a fastball gets elevated, Pena TB over 1.5 given his high contact and extra base ability, Altuve over 2.5 RB is in this spot feels ambitious but possible if rallies form. Braves team total over 3.5 runs only if Elder can settle early and avoid damage. Best bets are Brown over Ks as core single ticket, Astros ML when priced better than -130, and Olsen HR prop. Parlay SGP options. Balanced build could be Astros ML plus Brown over K's plus Pena TB over. Value stack might be Astros TT over plus Altuve RBIs over plus Olsen HR. High risk combo. Astros -1.5 plus total over 9 plus Pena hour. Projected flow. Brown strikes out early, holds Braves scoreless or with just a run through 4. Houston gets on board via Pena 1-out double and Altuve RBI. Mid-game Astros widen lead with Olsen extra base hit. Elder falters in 5th or 6th, Astros pen locks down late innings. Final score projection. Houston 6, Atlanta 2, with key props on Brown's K's and the Astros offense delivering multiple scoring innings. Parker Bridges 9-5, 3.88 ERA, approximately 130 kiloseconds takes the mound for Milwaukee, while for St. Louis, Marco Gonzalez 7-12, approximately 4.76 ERA, approximately 100 strikeouts is the confirmed starter. Bridges has been solid against Cardinals' lefty threats in recent seasons, showing ability to limit extra base hits and avoiding long balls. His whip is under 1.25, and his home run per 9 HR 9 is below league average. Both suggest he's less likely to get punished by power bats. Gonzalez, however, has been vulnerable to high exit velocities and tends to give up hard contact when misses happen, particularly elevated fastballs, which puts his home starts under guard. The bullpen lean heavily favors the Brewers. They've posted stronger inherited runner prevention, have higher leverage success, and carry more aggressive late-inning arms that can miss bats. Cardinals' pen has had lapses, especially in middle relief, with blown leads in recent stretch games. If Bridges can go 6 innings, Brewers' bullpen should be able to preserve a lead, whereas St. Louis may struggle if they fall behind early and the starter is not sharp. Offensively, Milwaukee has multiple weapons. Christian Yelich 26 HR, approximately 90 RBI, .290 AVG, Bryce Terang, strong bat and gap power emerging, and Jackson Chourio, youthful power, fast swipes. The Cardinals' top power is Wilson Contreras 20 HR, solid slugging splits Alec Burleson, and Nolan Arenado, though the latter has looked more run value than HR value in recent outings. Brewers' offense excels versus moderate fastball armatures, and Gonzalez gives up more hard hits when his off-speed isn't locating, meaning Milwaukee constant pressure in counts. Cardinals, though resilient, rely heavily on bottom-of-the-order contributions which are inconsistent. Analytics breakdown. Brewers rank above average in WRC plus over their last 15 games, with an uptick in extra base hits and hard hit rate, specifically off fastballs in the zone. Their slugging trend if Gonzalez misses his spots is dangerous. Cardinals rank mediocre in OBP and strikeout avoidance, meaning they'll face uphill battle against a Brewers arm that misses bats and remains efficient. Total runs in recent Cardinals home games have leaned toward the over. Brewers road games as favorites also show a pattern of scoring in the mid-game frames, 4th-6th. From market action, Brewers ML likely at around -145, with Cardinals plus 125 or so. Total projected around 8.5 runs. Run line options Brewers -1.5 present value for smaller bettors expecting a multi-run win. Key prop markets include Bridges over approximately 6.5 strikeouts, Yelich anytime hour, favored power bat versus lefties, Contreras HR prop if a favorable split, Brewers team total over approximately 4.5 runs, Cardinals team total over 3.5 if a few favorable at-bats open early. Best bets. Primary is Bridges over K's, value prop is Yelich HR, team total over 4.5 for Brewers is strong. Parlay or same game parlay ideas. Balanced SGP. Brewers ML plus Bridges over K plus Yelich TB over. Value stack. Brewers TT over plus Yelich hour plus Contreras HR. High upside play. Brewers minus 1.5 plus total over 9 plus Bridges over Ks. Projected flow. Bridges starts sharp, striking out 2 in first, keeping Cardinals off balance. Milwaukee jump ahead via a Yelich solo. Brewers build 2-0 or 3-1 before mid-game. Gonzalez gives up a long ball to Contreras in 4th or 5th, pulls yard on a flat breaking ball. Brewers pen enters in 7th, shows dominance, extracting maximum leverage. Final predicted outcome. Brewers 6, Cardinals 3, with Bridges Ks, team totals, and Yelich HR props all aligning for bettors. Padres hand the ball to Dylan Cease, 7-11, 4.71 ERA, approximately 195 kiloseconds, while the Rockies send Bradley Blaylock, 1-4, 8.62 ERA in approximately 45 innings, approximately 22 strikeouts, to the mound. Cease has had stretches where his fastball-cutter combo dominates, particularly at Petco, and his whiff rates on breaking stuff are among the better ones in his rotation starts. Blaylock, by contrast, is giving up too many fly balls, too many home runs, and has struggled with consistency. His peripherals show high exit velocities allowed and poor strike-to-ball ratios. Against this Padres offense, Blaylock's margin of error is essentially 0. Padres' bullpen is one of their biggest strengths. They've logged a sub 3.70 bullpen ERA over recent weeks, with strong inherited runner prevention and tight high-leverage arms. The Rockies' pen ranks among worst in the league, blown leads, high whip in relief, and very poor success against power hitters. If Cease can hand off even a small lead into the 6th, odds tilt heavily in favor of Padres holding on. What hurts Colorado is that Blaylock is expected only to go approximately 4 to 5 innings before the pen takes over, and their bullpen has been particularly leaky in recent games. Offensively, the Rockies are near the bottom of nearly every major metric. They bat approximately .238, with ops sub -.700, low home run totals, and weak slugging. Hunter Goodman leads the Rockies in hours and RBI, but the rest of their lineup is very light. Padres, meanwhile, have several dangerous bats: Fernando Tatis Jr., Manny Machado, Luis Arraez, who can punish mistakes. Tatis has shown good power even versus righties when shafts are left up. Machado remains steady with strong metrics in batted ball data, and Arraez is excellent at snagging roadies and soft contact. Colorado has surrendered a lot of hours this season, especially in home games, and that plays directly into the Padres' power bats' hands. From the betting markets, Padres are strong favorites home, ML around -300 or stronger in many books. The run line of -1.5 is in play for people looking for value. Total has been sitting around 8 to 9 runs depending on lines, with some experts preferring the over if offense gets to Blaylock early. Prop lines to monitor: Cease over 7.5 strikeouts, Tatis anytime HR, Goodman HR for Colorado as potential upside, Padres team total over 5.5 runs, Rockies team total over 3.5 only if they get early counting stats. Cease's strikeout over is probably the core prop to build around. Best bets narrow in on Padres ML, Cease over strikeouts, and Tatis anytime hour. Value plays include Padres -1.5 if priced under a reasonable line, and Padres team total over. Parlay SGP like Padres ML plus Cease over 7.5 kiloseconds plus Tatis HR gives juice with attack from both sides. Higher reward build could be Padres -1.5 plus over 9 total plus Goodman HR for Colorado as underdog for bigger payout. Game flow likely sees Cease attacking early with high-spin fastballs and sliders, racking up 2-3 kiloseconds in the first 2 innings. Padres get on board with a solo shot by Tatis or Machado. By the 4th-5th, Rockies chase Blaylock after a crooked inning. Cease will leave around 6 with solid strikeout totals. Padres pens finish tight innings. Final projection: Padres 6, Rockies 2, with key props on Cease Ks and Tatis power ringing true. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, 11-8, 2.72 ERA, 177 strikeouts in 155 and a third innings takes the mound for the Dodgers, and he'll face a veteran test in Justin Verlander, 3-10, 4.09 ERA. Yamamoto is showing why he's one of the most feared young arms in the league, averaging 10.3 strikeouts per 9, holding hitters to a batting average near .191, and in his recent start through 8 2/3 shutout innings against Baltimore while giving up just 1 hit. His consistency deep into games is improving, and his ability to miss bats up in the zone makes him a real threat for strikeout-heavy props. Verlander, meanwhile, is dug in and fighting to stay relevant in the playoff picture. He has decent strikeout ability, approximately equals 8.5 K/9, but his walk rate and ERA have ballooned due to hard contact when he misses elevated fastballs or leaves breaking stuff flat. Bullpen advantages lean here subtly toward Los Angeles. The Dodgers' relief corps has benefited from Yamamoto getting into the 6th inning more often, meaning their high-leverage relievers like Blake Trinan or the recent returns are getting shorter leashes but cleaner work. The Giants' bullpen has had improvement in high leverage, especially lately in close games as they chase wild card positioning, but consistency remains a concern. If Verlander gives up early damage, San Francisco's pen may struggle to hold a multi-run lead. On the flip side, if Yamamoto is on, he can blunt Giants' threats until late, making the Dodgers' bullpen a bit safer in tight frames. Offensively, power is the major storyline. The Dodgers are loaded. Shohei Ohtani leads MLB with 48 home runs, .280 average, approximately 92 RBIs. Mookie Betts is heating up again. Freddie Freeman remains a constant extra base threat. The Giants counter with Rafael Devers and Willie Adames. Both have long balls and strong recent production in run-producing spots, but their lineup depth behind them is less intimidating. The Dodgers' offense ranks top 3 in runs, game and total bases, game versus the Giants' middling numbers in those same metrics. Giants are battling urgency. Mistakes get punished harshly in Oracle Park, especially with its large outfield but susceptible in left field to power hitters. From the betting market, the probable total is around 7.5 runs. The moneyline favors the Dodgers, likely between -140 to -160, with the Giants underdog. Run line value with Dodgers -1.5 carries potential if Yamamoto is sharp. Key prop lines include Yamamoto over 6.5 kiloseconds if booked. His strikeout upside supports more. Verlander over 5.5 kiloseconds for deeper value or hedge. Ohtani anytime hour, very live. Devers hour for the Giants' power side, and Dodgers team total over 4.5 runs. Best bets lean toward Yamamoto's strikeout over and Dodgers ML or -1.5 in favorable pricing. Ohtani HR is a high variance, high upside play. Devers HR is a secondary prop if he finds pitch elevated. Team total overs can be used for Dodgers. Parlay, same game parlay ideas. Balanced build. Dodgers ML plus Yamamoto over Ks plus Ohtani TB over 1.5. Value stack. Dodgers TT over plus Ohtani hour plus Devers hour. Aggressive combo. Dodgers -1.5 plus over 9 total runs plus Ohtani HR, small ticket, big payoff. Game flow expected. Yamamoto starts strong, zeros in on first 2 innings with strikeouts. Dodgers score early via Ohtani or Betts. Verlander gives up 1 or 2 long balls by middle innings. Dodgers build lead, and their bullpen, having fewer tight outings recently, closes clean. Final projection. Dodgers 5, Giants 2, with Yamamoto over Ks and Dodgers team total over delivering value. Luis Castillo, 9-8, 3.85 ERA, 144 strikeouts in 161.1 innings, whip 1.27 toes the mound for Seattle, matching up against Angels Yusei Kikuchi, 6'11", 4.18 ERA, whip 1.48, in a key game with Al West playoff airflow at stake. Castillo has had solid success versus the Angels historically, In 10 career appearances he owns a 5-2 record with a 2.97 ERA and 75 strikeouts. That gives him a resume advantage here, especially at home where his sinker fastball mix and ability to generate grounders are at their best. Kikuchi, on the other hand, is inconsistent. When his off-speed pitches are sharp and his fastball isn't getting hammered, he can keep games close, but he's given up too many homers and long hits lately, especially when trailing. Seattle's bullpen has come alive at a perfect moment, carrying the Mariners on a 5-game win streak fueled by strong late-inning performances. Recent games show tighter relief work, fewer inherited runners scoring, and arms that can miss bats in squeeze spots. The Angels' bullpen is less trustworthy. Their relievers have struggled to suppress extra base hits and have been punished in high-leverage situations. If Castillo gives up a couple in the mid-innings, the Mariners' bullpen still provides better insurance. If Kikuchi stumbles early, the Angels' pen likely won't be able to bail him out. Offensively, Seattle enters with momentum. Cal Raleigh paces the team with 53 home runs, though his batting average sits at .239. Julio Rodriguez continues to be a bat-on-ball and barrel threat, and the Mariners' lineup as a whole has the better balance between power, contact, and on-base ability. The Angels depend heavily on Joe Adell's power, 35 HR, .242 AVG, approximately 94 RBI, and a few key bats like Trout and Nedu. When those hitters are active and catch pitches in the zone, they can turn the game. However, their lineup depth behind those stars frequently fails to deliver consistency, especially against pitchers who avoid walking too many batters and force contact. From the betting markets, Seattle is favored around -175 megaliters with a total projected near 8.5 to 9 runs. Run line plays of Mariners -1.5 are in play depending on odds. Prop action well ahead of first pitch looks centered on Castillo over strikeouts, likely approximately 6.5 or 7 kiloseconds, and Adell anytime HR given his power versus Castillo when he misses spots. Other props include Mariners team total over 4.5 runs, Raleigh anytime HR, and perhaps Trout or Nedu for extra bases. On the Angels' side, underdog props like team total over 2.5 runs, or Adell 1+ hit, have value. If early counts go his way, best bets lean Castillo over strikeouts and Mariners ML are -1.5 if priced decently. Raleigh HR or long ball exposure from the Mariners' power bats could anchor a prop. On the totals side, a smart lean is over 8.5 if early damage, under if both starters look sharp. SGP parlay ideas. Mariners ML plus Castillo over Ks plus Raleigh TB over 1.5 is a balanced option. Value stack might be Mariners TT over plus Adell hour plus total over. High risk build. Mariners -1.5 plus Adell hour plus over 9 total runs. Game flow likely unfolds with Castillo attacking early, getting ahead of Angels' top order, racking up multiple Ks through the first 3 innings. Mariners get on the board early, a solo shot from Raleigh or Rodriguez. Kikuchi gives up hard contact by middle innings, Angels put pressure but leave runners. Seattle adds insurance via bullpen arms in the 6th-8th, shuts down any late rally. Final projected outcome. Mariners 6, Angels 3, with key props, Castillo Ks, Raleigh HR, Mariners TT over, hitting for value. JT. Ginn 3-6, 4.95 ERA, with about 86 strikeouts over 76.1 innings draws the start for Oakland. He's had flashes. His last outing he lasted 5 innings against the Angels allowing 1 earned run over 5, giving up 5 hits. But over the season Ginn has been hittable. Batting average versus him sits near .263. And while his K9 is decent, approximately 10.1, his walk rate and home run exposure at home have cost him. For the Reds, Brady Singer, 13-9, 3.98 ERA, 145 strikeouts counters. Singer has been stitching together solid starts. He's gone 5 innings or more in recent outings, thrown multiple quality starts, and owns a whip around 1.26. He's far more consistent, better at suppressing hard contact, and has been doing well recently versus teams with weaker offensive depth. In the bullpen battle, the edge belongs with Cincinnati. Their relief group has been more reliable in high-leverage spots, with fewer blown leads in recent weeks. Oakland's bullpen remains questionable. Their middle relief has allowed several crooked innings. Their closest arms are probably fine, but the bridge from starter to late innings is unreliable. That gap matters especially if Ginn is tagged early or if the game opens up. Reds are more capable of turning small leads or tight games into wins thanks to bullpen consistency and better matchups late. Offensively, Oakland has surprisingly potent recent stats. Over the past 10 games, the A's are batting .280, approximately equals 10.1 hits game, slugging around .465, hitting roughly 14 home runs in that stretch with 39 extra base hits. Players like J.J. Bleday, team best 4 home runs in that span, and Tyler Soderstrom, slashing approximately .353, .389, .559 in last 10, are showing pop and are dangerous, especially against right-handed pitching. On the Reds' side, offense has been more middling but capable, with 12 home runs in their last 10, slugging approximately .412, about 31 extra base hits, batting .247, and guys like Austin Hayes and T.J. Friedl heating up in recent games. Cincinnati has had better success against right-handed starters than lefties this season, which works in their favor here. From the betting lines, odds show Oakland as slight favorites, around -120 or so, with the total set very high, between 10 runs in many books, suggesting bookmakers expect a slugfest or at least scoring from both sides. Over-unders have been leaning toward over in recent Reds road games, and trends show the underdogs, Reds in this case, covering often in similar matchups. The public may lean A's due to home, but sharp money seems to be backing Cincinnati for value. The betting markets are also pointing to over 10 totals and run line plus 1.5 for Reds as probable value plays. Key player props with upside include Singer over 5.5 or 6 strikeouts, his recent consistency and ability to work deep lend credibility here. Ginn under 5.5 strikeouts is a safer fade. Home run props. Bleday anytime HR is juicy given his recent power surge. Elly De La Cruz also has power upside and could punish mistakes. Total bases props also stand out for Soderstrom, extra base hits, and Hayes. Reds team total over 4.5 runs offers value if Singer settles early and Reds can generate traffic. A's team total over 5.5 runs could be dangerous if Ginn gives up hard contact and misses zone. Best bets. Reds moneyline looks strong for value, especially versus overpriced home sides. Singer over K's is a high EV play. Also, Reds team over 4.5 runs is solid. Parlay SGP ideas. A balanced parlay might be Reds ML plus Singer over strikeouts plus Hayes 1 plus hit. A value stack could include Reds TT over plus De La Cruz hour plus total over 10 for those expecting offense explosions. High risk build. Reds -1.5 plus over 10.5 runs plus home runs by Bleday and De La Cruz for big payout. Projected game flow. Singer starts sharp, limiting Oakland to 1 or 2 runs over first 3 innings, collecting 4 to 5 Ks early. Reds get on board via De Cruz or Hayes in the 4th with extra base hits. Ginn gives up traffic and possibly a home run or 2 by the 5th. The game opens. Offense from both sides. Mid-game Reds pull ahead with bullpen supporting. Late innings. Oakland fights back but Reds' deeper pen shuts the door. Final projected score. Reds 6, Athletics 3, with Singer over K's, Reds TT over, and De Cruz home run prop among the top value picks. If you made it this far, you already know the edge isn't in following the hype, it's in spotting the traps the books are laying. Now it's your turn. Which game on September 13th feels like the biggest setup to you? Drop your pick in the comments, and let's see who's really reading the board like a pro. And remember, every day we're breaking down the numbers, the props, the best bets, and the angles the market doesn't want you to see. So hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and don't miss tomorrow's slate. Because if you thought tonight was tricky, wait until you see what's coming next.